So I sent a note to production saying I believe that I would get out tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. And they told me nothing because they haven't responded to my email. So I could be falsely excited here, but it put me in a better mood, put a little pip in my pep. And you can even tell I have a different scarf today, which is a little lighter, more elan, a little more joy in life. So just the idea of being able to get out of here and see some sun, get some exercise, get some fresh air, interact with human beings is lifting my spirits. So I am potentially a free man starting tomorrow. So I sent Jason the Mel Gibson freedom meme. Freedom! Okay, anyway, I'm back. Today we are going to speak with a young lady named Gabriella Wright who works with Deepak Chopra and this guy Poonacha on this thing called the Never Alone Project. And it's really addresses suicide prevention. Pretty interesting group. And she has a really interesting perspective on things. Very different perspective than me, which is really interesting. She always has a unique... I learn a lot talking to her. Presumably you will too. So that's kind of where that comes in. But anyway, I was reading some more of this. And the COVID dream things are very interesting. However, there's kind of a more interesting article. And the interesting article is synchrony. Yes, when we do things synchronously, like dance together, march together, sing together, all those fun fascist activities, we actually have a much higher level of tolerance and acceptance for other people. It blurs the lines of self and the lines of others, and it turns you into, well, what essentially is part of the team. I guess that would be the way it would be described. But I thought it was interesting. The article is this: all together. And they do go through some research. It does not seem entirely scientific, but it seems semi-scientific and anecdotal maybe on some respects, but I don't think that any of us are going to disagree with the basic premise, which is we are probably meant to work in unison, work together. That's primarily what I believe we're meant to do. And so that brings us to a inflection point here in our particular society where we're not really working together, are we? So I would like to see all of you guys. And first, I would just want to address hello to the world. Hi, world. We got somebody from Toronto. What is the image on my shirt? Oh, this is great. I got this in New Mexico. And it's some Native Indians, Native Americans, and they see a flying saucer. It is near Area 51. But the truth is, what's cooler about this is that it might as well be a flying saucer or a white man. It doesn't make any difference. It's just as otherworldly for them at the time. But you can just see, like, hey guys, you see that over there? Is that a bad omen for us? Possibly. Anyways, I liked it. And I bought it at the, I don't remember what the name of the museum was. It wasn't Indigenous Peoples Museum, but it was something like Native American Contemporary Museum, I think, in Santa Fe. That's where I bought it, which has got some interesting stuff. Detroit. Hello, Detroit. Good morning, Australia. We are going to do today what we were not successfully able to do yesterday. Yesterday, I said we were going to travel around the world in Joe's imaginary spaceship. But we needed people from other countries to invite themselves. And I was going to tap them on, and my little tapping mechanism was no longer working. So I'm pretty sure that all human pulse had left my body, and my phone was not recognizing me as a human being. So hopefully today that actually works. We shall see. So Missouri, hello. Connecticut, fantastic. Poland, beautiful. Winnipeg, lovely. It's starting to get cold up there. I've been to Winnipeg, interestingly enough. Holland, we love Holland. And let's see, Smyrna Beach, Florida, absolutely awesome. Somebody's from the Puddle Jumper, awesome. Don't know what you're doing in there, but have a good time. Missouri is my home state. We like that. Colorado broke out. And by the way, Colorado is awesome. And I meant to talk to that girl yesterday, but I couldn't. Mexico, fantastico. Brazil, Estonia, Edinburgh, Iowa. Wow, Huntsville, Alabama, Russia. Now, my Russian friends, keep chiming in, because I think if I press your button, I'm going to invite... Oh, yes, I can do that. No, go... Yeah, okay. So, I learned... somebody sent me a text. I do read your messages, by the way, guys. And what's tricky is that I can't accept all the messages, because... Actually, my friends do reach out to me and DM me, and if I accept them, then it's just a big, giant thing. So I do read the messages, and the message I got from somebody was tap the individual on from that particular country and invite them on, and I think that's a great idea. And I'm learning so much from you guys. And one day I'm going to make it. Okay, Virginia. Okay. The question, Bavaria, Germany, fantastic. Okay, listen. The question really is, am I going to continue this? I'm going to do one tomorrow no matter what. Whether I get out tomorrow or not, I still promise you I'll do that. And I'm going to live stream every day until I leave Toronto, which will be a week from today, I think. Anyways, I'm going to do that anyways. I may move over to Jason's. I may not. Who knows? But we'll check that out. And I'm going to talk about a few things today, and my friend may chime in at any particular minute, and when she does, I'm just going to invite her on, and we'll just kind of pick it up from there. North Vancouver, BC. I used to live in North Vancouver, BC. Yep, British properties. It's even rainier in North Van than it is in Vancouver. Crazy. And I got to tell you, God bless you guys in Vancouver for being able to handle that type of weather, because I could not handle it. It was literally too much for me. I think at one point there was 30 straight days of rain. Incredible. I don't know how you guys do it. I'm just fair weather, I guess. That's what we'd call it. Nottingham, UK. Fantastic. What's my type of woman? Well, preferably one with... the correct anatomy. That would be a start. Anyways, hello from France. Love that. So what am I working on now? Well, I've said this a couple times. I'm in the middle of shooting a TV show called SEE for Apple TV. Did a couple episodes before the quarantine. They had to stop. I'm coming back, doing a few more. We'll see what happens. Istanbul, Turkey. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And by the way, you know what would be cool? You guys, I don't know how that works. I was going to say you guys should all be in touch with each other somehow. I don't know how you do that, because you can't see what I see, which is a endless carnival of interesting cultures popping up here, always with fascinating questions. What kind of music do you like? I listen to a lot. You know what I listened today? Somebody guess who that is. I'll leave it on for a little while. Let's see what else we got going. Cleveland, Ohio. All right. Am I able to speak French? Oh, mais ouais. Je parle français quelquefois, mais pas toujours, parce qu'il n'y a pas beaucoup des Américains qui parlent français, alors. So then I'm going to block them out, right? So we can't do that. And what kind of history do I prefer? Interesting question. You know, I usually don't answer questions right away. I say I usually. There is no usually. I like how I say that. there is no pattern here. There's nothing. This is improvisational. So I kind of don't like saying that I usually do anything. I can make up any rule I want. The period of history that I did study, this is what I found interesting. I studied intellectual history. Now, you might want to ask, that's not necessarily the history of philosophy, but intellectual history is the history of ideas and how they interacted at important points in history. So European and American intellectual history in the 20th century primarily. And in order to understand those ideas in the 20th century, you still had to go back quite very far. I was fascinated by it. I thought it was amazing. Wouldn't it be cool if we could all go back to college and just, I don't know, fuck off? Go to college and just, show up to class sometimes. We're interested in things, but we like to have a good time. Anyways, okay. I confirm your French is spot on, sir. Merci bien, monsieur. Okay, so can you give your autograph address? I don't have an autograph address. You can always reach out to what is called Untitled Entertainment and ask for Emma, who's one of my agents. Oh, no, actually for autographs. Well, yeah, for autographs. It's complicated. I have an agent that does personal appearances too, but since this is an autograph, I don't know. I do not speak Russian. I wish I did. But back to the autograph address. If you go to Cameo.com, I do these videographs. Okay, it's an autograph, but it's a video. And I was I had reservations about it initially, but I actually really like it because there's something kind of deeply personal about it. And some of them are touching, like the things. Like I had one lady who, she lost her husband and her mother within a period of 3 months, and she's by herself in quarantine, and it's just cannot believe how difficult it is. So I'm able to have what I think is a more powerful and personalized kind of autograph, if you want to call it, but I think it's called a videograph. But if you do that and you go to Cameo.com, and I think if you go to my my profile on Instagram, I think there's a website there, and it allows you to go to my thing on Cameo. I'm donating proceeds to Rock the Vote. We're trying to get as many people to vote as possible. Did anybody guess what music we're listening to, by the way? This guy is one of the greatest. I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but the guy is just a genius. The band is amazing. Anyways, I do not speak Russian, and I wish I spoke Russian, and I'm happy to go there and take some lessons. I do have a friend, interesting enough, who reached out to me. She's from Siberia. She's from Omsk. And I told her, I said, jump on the show. And I don't know if she will. I think she was a little nervous about that. But maybe I can start learning. I know Pjalista, please. That's about it. I really don't have anything else. Oh, somebody just voted. Go. Can you give us a funny memory that happened? This is, oh boy. Let me think about that one. I have never been to Poland, and I would like to go to Poland. Thank you for asking. My fan mail address, I'm going to find out, but it's Untitled Entertainment in Los Angeles, so I apologize that I don't have the exact address. Anyway, I'm not going. Somebody asked me if I'm going to cut my hair today. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I realized that I was actually on the edge, and I'm just going to say something flat out. Okay, I'm trying to be honest. I had such a shitty day yesterday. Such a shitty day, and all those lessons about breathing, wasn't paying attention to them. Chaos. My voice was looping in my head. I was kind of on fire. And being stuck in a hotel room kind of just exacerbates the issue. And then it occurred to me that I have so much to learn, don't I? But yesterday I needed that Navy SEAL breathing exercise in play. And eventually I did. And eventually it changed everything. And I slept well. I did it before I went to bed. But I have to say, it was a challenging day. And it often happens when there are elements thrown at me that I cannot control, but I'm being asked to control them, but I can't control them. It was deeply frustrating. It was deeply frustrating. And also, there are so many demands and pressures on people today. It's like life has stopped, but the bills haven't stopped. The cost of living hasn't stopped. Nothing has stopped. But our capacity to create income, for the most part, at least me, and I'm sure a lot of people out there. So anyway, let's answer some questions, which we're going to do until our friend Gabriella joins us. Hello, Czech Republic. Hi, I'm a French fan. Sad not to be able to see you at FedCon. Yeah. And there's another one in France. I was supposed to be in Paris, I believe, this month, and Germany next month for both of those. They've been moved. As you know, all the conventions have been moved, which is why I'm encouraging people to go to cameo.com and give it a shot. It's actually kind of cool. I mean, I kind of like it. Do I actually like Johnny Cash? Okay. Come on. Johnny Cash is a national treasure. Johnny Cash is one of the great Americans. And I love Johnny Cash, and I decided that Johnny Cash was going to be my kind of companion guy in space. So I had a Johnny Cash poster. We had a couple Johnny Cash songs in the show. And we had a hard time getting the initial licensing for the Johnny Cash stuff. But I think when we told them that he would be the first country western singer in space, they thought that was kind of clever. So we did get it. And Johnny Cash is... Bob Dylan? Of course I love Bob Dylan. Ooh, I like Bob Dylan. I told my Bob Dylan story the other day. So you can't go wrong with Bob Dylan. And so let's see. How about Neil Diamond? Okay, here's what I want to say about Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond is an incredibly gifted musician, and he has written so many amazing songs that he actually hasn't sung. And I think he wrote songs for the Monkees, all sorts, like Daydream Believer. So I think his music stands the test of time. I may not be crazy about Neil Diamond's particular take on his music. In some ways, I like other musicians' take on Neil Diamond's music. Hendrix? Oh, come on. I mean, come on. He's a genius. Genius. I love Jimi Hendrix. Interestingly enough, somebody asked me Bob Dylan and Hendrix at the same time. Bob Dylan was asked, is there anybody who's done your music better than you? And he said, no, except Jimi Hendrix all along the Watchtower. It's actually better than what I did. And I have to agree. And I think that was an amazing thing because, you know, he is not a guy who's going to give much, Bob Dylan. So it was a grudging acknowledgement. Dolly Parton. Hey, here's what I want to say about Dolly Parton. I don't listen to Dolly Parton, but I love Dolly Parton. I love her as a human being. She's an awesome human being who does amazing things. And everybody I've talked to who knows her says the same thing. She does a lot of really good charity work, and the world is a better place because of Dolly Parton. That's what I'm going to say. All right, let's see. There are some great comments about musicians like Bob Dylan used to sit on my friend's porch in Laurel Canyon. Yeah. Laurel Canyon. Oh, there's a couple great documentaries. One that my friend Jacob Dylan did called, I think, In the Canyon or something like that. And there's another one called just Laurel Canyon, which is really good. It's like a 6-parter. It's really good. You got to watch it. Do I like classical music? I love classical music, especially Bach. I listen to a lot of Bach. There's a lot of classical music I like. Rage Against the Machine. It's funny you say that. If you go onto my Instagram and you go way down there, you'll see me backstage with Rage. Yep. Yeah, the bass player and I used to be very good friends. I kind of lost touch with the guy, but yeah, I've had good times with Rage. Anyways, now let's see where we are. Do I make music? I make bad music, but I don't care because I like it. Anyways, let's see. What's some more questions? I'm sort of filling the air right now until our friend joins. The Killers. The Killers are great. I love the Killers. I really like them, actually, quite a bit. The Eagles, of course. The Eagles are amazing. Interestingly enough, Don Henley was my neighbor. And we are all on the board, the homeowners board. And here's what I'm going to say about Don Henley. What I like about him, we lived in this canyon that's pretty old school. And it's one of those places, there's a few places in Malibu that haven't changed that much in the last 60 years. And this is one of them. So, you know, you're not encouraged, like, they don't really want a bunch of famous people coming in and build big fancy houses. These are people that bought houses for $200,000 or $300,000. They lived in a canyon. It was a cheaper place to live, and it's low key. My neighbor's like the firemen, blah, 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 contractors, things like that. But then you do have famous people. I think now, God, I think Hemsworth and or Miley Cyrus or somebody moved in. I don't know. I'm not in that exact thing. Okay. So my friend is requesting me. So now what I'm going to do is go like this and get to her. Let's see how we do this. Darn it. I don't see you, love. How do I get you? Okay, here you are. I gotcha. It's happening. Everything is coming together brilliantly. It's like,
Hey,
oh, see?
it's working.
Leave it to me. I so badly need like a producer, somebody come along and be like, and Joe, you forgot to turn the mic on. And speaking of which, I think when I do the split screen, sometimes this mic changes, so I might have to plug that back in. But anyway,
I like your
everybody, meet Gabriella Wright. She runs the Never Alone Project. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you, Joe, for having me on your daily rant of human existence.
I think I'm calling it a slogcast.
A slogcast. I
Yeah.
like the slogcast.
One person just said Free Joe is the name of the show.
Free Joe.
Free Joe.
Free Joe. Yeah, Free Joe.
Yeah.
Let's free him. But okay, so for everyone here, and Joe has witnessed my journey over the months and years, I have co-founded a mental well-being initiative and suicide prevention movement with Dr. Deepak Chopra and a friend of mine, Punachya Machaya, who's a social entrepreneur. So we co-founded this prior COVID, knowing that there is a hidden mental health longing to cry and have a voice. You know, mental health is invisible, and it's not something one can see, and it's not something one perceives unless one has tools. So the Never Alone movement and initiative is about how to bring tools together, mental hygiene tools, and democratize them so that everyone can have access. Because as you know, there are so many places in the world that we cannot have access to mental well-being tools. And also it's seen in the West as a luxury. And since we're in the West, you know, we have to cater to how to destigmatize mental well-being.
But it's seen as a luxury everywhere, isn't it? Like,
you know, I agree with you. I mean, I just think, you know, well-being and mental well-being has been put in a category of like, especially today, like, you know, yogis and luxury and people, you know, sitting on the beach in a lotus position,
right.
You know, literally. And I think that unfortunately takes away the power of what it's actually supposed to do.
Okay, so tell us, like, how does it work? Like, how would I be exposed to Never Alone and then use Never Alone?
Okay, very easy. So go on our site, neveralone.love, and what pops up immediately is an AI chatbot that we have co-developed with a company, an AI company that's connected to 5,000 therapists. And this chatbot, which is the nickname of my little sister, is called Pee-wee. and you automatically can text her, and she will give you tools of resiliency, of mental hygiene. She'll take you to meditations, and she talks to you 24/7. Because what we've noticed is that, we have an experience of loneliness. And what we want to say is that you're actually never alone, whether it's through your dialogue with your inner self or with the outer experience. So we've created this technology that's available, so it's neveralone.love. And when you go to our site, she pops up. She's also available for other countries in the US. Maybe we don't use Facebook Messenger.
Somebody is asking if it's free. Sorry.
It's free.
Yeah,
It's
free.
It's
Okay.
democratizing resources.
Right.
Everything that we raise money to make tools free.
Right.
That's our
Got
purpose.
it. Right.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting because actually this has come up quite a bit in the podcasting, which is being isolated in a hotel room for 14 days is really difficult.
Yeah.
I've had a difficult time. And it helps so much to be able to reach out and talk to somebody. It really makes a difference. And I think there's a lot of people out there that don't have somebody to reach out to.
Yeah.
And then what happens, from my understanding, is that negative loop is going in your head, just your negative feedback. And the things that break it up are interaction with other people, presumably, right?
Yes.
So that's part of the plan.
That's part of the plan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so how can you, it's hard to measure how successful it is, other than by, I guess, the traffic, I guess.
Yes. So because everything is an algorithm, and we also are able to look at what type of populations are using it. And also Peewee, the tool, she's able to decipher when there's a crisis. So she can direct you to a therapist, or she can direct you to a hotline, and just create alarm bells so that, the person who's using Peewee can take the ultimate measures for her own well-being or his well-being. Right. So it's a first step. It's a first step into a broader conversation.
Right.
Because the thing is, there's solutions, but we need to be connected. Yes, it can help children. I can see that. It can help children. And it's all about resilience, resiliency. Right. How do we build our resiliency? Right. Today, we're in a world of extreme uncertainty. I've heard you say, Joe, over the, your past Free Joe episodes, that, it's like what are we doing today? We still have to pay bills. We still, we don't know what's going on in the world. There's a general anxiety. As parents, we're both parents. We're like fearing for our children. We're questioning reality. So all these questions we all have. So we're not alone in the same questions. We're not. But the purpose is how do we build a community whilst being isolated physically, and not experiencing the severity of loneliness, which can lead into depression. Right. So that's what we're trying to work on, and that's the angle that we're putting together. And we're also creating another platform that we're in development right now, and it's creating a community on blockchain, so transparency, so it's all transparent, so the exchange.
Right.
For example, I'm talking with you, Joe, right now, and we're having this, well-being conversation, and there's tools that will probably come out of this. These tools can be then, maybe some of the people who are connecting with this conversation can use it, and then we can see where it's going and how many people it's helping. So it's creating a link to all of us whilst we're offline.
But let me ask you, because somebody just asked a question which is interesting. So the connection is essentially AI.
It's, yes, AI.
The initial connection.
The initial connection is, but so what we have to understand with AI is that AI she's an emotional mental well-being AI chatbot. So AI learns with you. So what you speak with her yesterday, she'll remember to speak with you today and move on.
But she will lead you to a person to talk to.
She will. She will. Yes, she can.
And what about the forums? What about, like, do you ever have forums like where groups of people get to come together and chat?
Not